Good morning. Good morning from the Jolly Bee. We are live from the studio apartment located in Lahug, Cebu, Philippines. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Anna May is in the house. Good morning, Anna May. What do you say? What's it going to be today? Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are live from Cebu. Dan and Minnie's Journey. Today's topic, are you single and ready to mingle? Yes, never afraid to talk about the tough subjects. Nip End's in the house. Daisy Lynn Castro is here. I appreciate your time. Zandy Papa has made an appearance. Let me see what I got here. I got to pin my link here. Wait. Whoa. It's just like I'm there in your living room. Yeah. How is everybody today? Knitman. You and I had a spirited conversation about housing, didn't we? Sam is here. Sam, how's it going? Hey, what gloves do you have, Sam? That's the question. Can I buy your gloves? I like latex myself. Yeah, Niban. Hey, about this whole housing thing. Oh, wait, I forgot to cut the music. Yeah, let's get rid of that. I know you can barely hear it because I'm not using my external. I'm not using my external speaker. Let's see. Let's see what Sam has to say. What gloves do you have at home? I don't have any because we don't use them in the Philippines too much. Gardening gloves, maybe. Sam says, I like disposable gloves, disposable plastic rubber gloves, washing up gloves. Oh, okay. Do you have any latex gloves at home? Only brand new in the box. Because I brought those over during the COVID, you know when everybody was getting a little bit freaked out, they didn't want to touch anything. Risa Centino, good morning. You're in the house. Thank you for coming, Menge and Knitband. Do you carry your YouTube setup with you? I do now. I carry my little 13.5-inch laptop with my webcam going. I hope it doesn't poop out on me like it did last time. You could see the difference in resolution. I mean, it's rocking and rolling today. But the laptop, when they put laptops together, they put cheapy cameras in them and all that. They want you to go out and spend money on their product. That's for sure. I only stay and watch the live stream if people wear disposable gloves on both hands just for me while they're live. Man, oh man, I just don't. I hate to lose you in the live, but I just don't have any. Just didn't bring my, my latex gloves or my disposable gloves with me. I'm saddened about that. That you have to leave us so soon, Sam. But anyway, have a nice day, evening, afternoon. And speaking of that, Mayon Buntag, if you're here in Visayas region or anywhere here in the Philippines, I heard Minnie chuckle over there. I'm not sure exactly what that was all about. And yeah, Inomako Cafe. Today I have, let's see, what do we have? We have let's see what our libation is, because it ain't Dunkin' this morning. It ain't Dunkin'. It's instant Nescafe Classic. Yum, 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 yum. That's what we have. So we're going to go with the Nescafe today. Hey, that rhymes. All right. Welcome, everybody, no matter where you are in the world. And no need to apologize if you're in the West, if you're living in the States. We welcome all comers to the live stream. No apologies are necessary. So we have Anna Mae Loris, the Philippines' most eligible bachelorette and socialite, is here. What would a live stream be without Loris? Oh, I'm excited today because I always love the part where I give away the 100 pesos for Donuts with Dan. Coffee and Donuts with Dan. I don't know if 100 pesos would cover it, probably, because this, I noticed here, this was only 8 pesos in the 7-Eleven. I probably overpaid for this. And donuts, if you go to the,
that's 13.
if you go to, this one was 13, Ma'am Minnie? If you go to the Pandasol or the bakery and get Pandasol, you're only going to spend maybe 5 pesos or 6 pesos with inflation on a homemade bakery donut from Angel's Bakery or somewhere else. They have it there. All right. Dan, do you have any first aid gloves at home? I wish I did, but I do have the latex disposable in the boxes. But if you want, I could send them to you, Sam, but they're $13.95 a box. Yeah, plus freight. Oh, Sam, I'm so happy you're here in the live stream today. All right, where were we? Oh, we're talking about relationships. Why are we talking about relationships? I don't know. I just thought I might get some views. We talk about, are you single, ready to mingle? And the how should I say this? The line is forming to the rear. Because I did receive some comments saying, what do you think? What do you think? Of course I'm single, ready to mingle. I've been single, ready to mingle for years. So I started doing a little bit of research on this topic. Oh, but first I want to get back to the housing. Yeah, I'm looking in here. I'm seeing Knit Band chiming in about the gloves. Yeah, he has some. He has some gloves from 3 years back. Yeah, can you ship those off? Can you ship those off to Sam? Oh my goodness gracious! Why did I say Sam? Anyway. Oh, knit band. Don't get me started. All right, what we're gonna do. Oh yeah, it is Sam. All right. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna talk a little bit about houses because I found this to be very, very interesting. So what are you doing in the dark, Larry? There's Larry. What are you doing in the dark? Oh, there you are.
Just hiding.
Hey, Crystals showed up. Crystals, thank you. Good morning. Inomako Cafe. Today it's Nescafe, Crystals. Today it's Nescafe. It's just easy because we have a 7-Eleven downstairs. Started spending all this money on coffee at the cafe down there in the machine, and it just doesn't taste as good as the instant. I think they need to clean the machine or something. You know, it's the one. You know, the machine is the one that grinds the beans, and then after a few minutes, it spits out the coffee. It's not a very labor-intense process, and unless you're the one buying the coffee, and then it's very labor-intense. Because especially if you're desperate for coffee and you have to go start that machine up, and you're sitting there going, "When is my coffee gonna be ready?" I don't know when your coffee's gonna be ready, sir. You're the barista. You're the barista. So one day I sat there in front of the machine. I think they got irritated with me. I just started pushing buttons. You guys know what machine I'm talking about that sits on the counter at 7-Eleven? So this particular one, I had to take a picture of it and post it. It's got it's got a bean grinder on top. They're supposed to be filling it up with fresh beans, and then it grinds them, and then it goes ahead and mixes it and spits out fresh cup of coffee. And it's hit and miss. It's hit and miss on the coffee. You can go into a 7-Eleven cafe and you can get the best tasting coffee in the world. And then you can go into the one that's in our building and you get very bland tasting, no flavor, like the beans have been sitting there since Christ was a corporal. Oh, I do apologize. I did not mean to make that Easter joke. All right. I hope I don't end up going to hell.
Hey, Leonard.
Yeah.
Hey, Larry, how are you?
I hope I don't end up.
A lot better.
Letty Me is in the house. It's you and me, Letty Me. So, Knitman, let's make public our private message conversation about housing, because I think it's important to talk about before we get. Listen, the relationships can wait. Why not? We've been waiting all these years. What's 1 more minute? What's 5 more minutes? We can wait.
What's another year?
Exactly. AABCM channel, thank you for coming. I hope you stick around. It sure would be nice to win 100 pesos from Dan so you could have coffee and donut with Dan. Even though I'd love to be there in order to share the experience with you, I most likely will just send you the 100 pesos through GCash. All right, so now, so far, any complaints? Any complaints? All right, Zendy's here, yeah. All right, so now let's talk about the house thing. All right, so I just wanted to clear up a few things. So this apartment that we're living in Asia, anywhere you go in Southeast Asia, just about, or the places I've been, that's a better way of saying it. Places I've been, they're not grand, spectacular homes. They don't live like they do in the West unless they are a Westerner. Now, there are a lot of houses. For example, in my neighborhood, they're going up all over the place. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-story houses. I don't even know how they could afford to build them. And who owns them? Some dude from America, some dude from Australia, some dude from the UK building a house as a monument to their success. And a lot of people would argue that I also have a house built that was a little bit larger than the standard Filipino house. So I went looking. So this apartment is, let's see, the apartment that we're living in is 21 or 22 square meters. That is just a little bit larger, I believe, than 100 square feet. So now you would say to yourself, well, how is it possible to be living comfortably in 100 square feet? Well, it's a minimalist apartment. That's number one. And number two, in Asia, most people, they live outdoors. They only come indoors in order to sleep. Housing is not treated the same way as housing in the West, where you build these grand palaces in order to show everybody how great of an earner you are. Most of it is just all fake anyway, quite frankly. Most of it is just fakeness, it's fakery in progress is what it is. So, my goodness. All right. For example, they build a house, they go to the bank, they borrow money in order to buy this house or build it, and they never pay for the house. They never completely own it because they buy a new house about as often as I change my underwear once every 5 years. That's how it works in the West. It keeps people away, Leonard.
I'm sure it does. I got some echo going on here for some reason.
Oh, I don't know. I don't think it's coming from my end. I have everything shut off.
Well, I got my YouTube muted.
You have your YouTube muted.
Yeah.
I don't know. Everything's off on my end. What about you, Larry?
The only thing is playing in my ear. That's the only speaker I got. One that's in my ear. So unless the mic's picking it up, it's not me.
Well,
I know where it's coming from. You're gonna laugh. I know where it's coming from.
I think I fixed it.
Look at this.
Yeah.
I had these sitting on the ground.
Well, no, I fixed it. I had a YouTube window open on another browser, and it was not muted. I muted it. And now I am. So
You know, this thing isn't working though. I just noticed that my headphones aren't working.
Oh, let's don't go there.
no, that's not good.
Yeah.
My headphones, I was having so much trouble. I was running. It took me
I
a good
really
half
need these
hour
things too.
to
I
get
really
my
need
headphones.
these things in order to focus, and now the dang things don't work. I don't know what to do.
I had to
kind
go
are they?
do my settings.
Sony, they're cheap though. They're cheap Sonys.
Yeah,
All right, I don't know what to do.
I had a pair of cheap
Look at, I'm
Sonys
all
that
tangled.
were great.
I'm all tangled up in my. Honey, help me.
Well, you almost got me on my laptop.
Oh,
I came
I don't
in
know
here
what's
and
going
I
on
was
here.
setting up for the show, and I thought, well, I'll watch a couple YouTube things, and no sound whatsoever. And I took a good half hour trying to figure it. I finally got it figured out, as you can tell.
Yeah.
But it took me a long time to figure it out.
So
So
your settings were messed up.
Yeah, it seems like every time they do a reboot or a reset or update, it messes with my headphones.
Yeah, and they just had some updates yesterday, I think.
Like I said, so I had to go in and find that was even more because Dan will tell you I've had trouble before, but this was even more complicated. I had to go farther and farther in, and it was a pain in my backside.
Yep.
Oh, by the way, folks, just to let you all know, my mom is doing great, so thank you for the prayers.
Oh, good. Good to hear. Good to hear.
My sisters and I kind of figured maybe it was the medication that had a reaction to something else she was taking, or maybe they had to adjust that dosage because it was her blood pressure that dropped way down.
Oh,
The next
blood
day she was
pressure
doing.
meds are terrible. They
The
mess
next
you
day
up
she was
bad.
feeling better, and then the day after, my sister said she was 100% better by
Great.
Thursday. So
Great.
that's why I didn't put up that I was going to do a live stream until today. Because if I jumped, I might not be able to do one tomorrow. But
Well, right.
it looks
You
like
might
now
have been,
I'll be here.
might have been on the road.
oh, you reminded me. You reminded me. So I'm going to move my Monday live stream most likely to Tuesday. And that is because I need some room to breathe because I need to post videos
Oh,
in
you can't
between
do
those.
that. You can't do that.
I have
You
to.
can't breathe.
I'm suffocating
You
over
can't
here.
breathe.
I need to air it out. I need to air it out to get some
Well,
views.
that might be true.
But my watch hours and my hits are way up. You folks that share, you guys are sharing the hell out of my videos, and also I'm getting messages from folks saying, "Hey Dan, you showed up in my stream, in my YouTube recommended stream, which has never happened before." All of a sudden, people start telling me that in Sacramento and the States and other places that I'm starting to show up in their recommended stream for YouTube, and I think that's fantastic.
That's
So
great.
apparently, whatever is happening with people sharing it out and doing the likes and subscribing is working because it's the algorithms picking it up, and they're sending me all kind of they're sending me all kind of messages from YouTube also saying, "Hey, you're doing okay, man. You're doing okay. You might be somebody someday."
There
All
you
right,
go.
so now, about the house size. Okay. So somebody also commented. So Nidban was saying you can get twice the house or twice the apartment for cheaper in Thailand, and that is true. That is true. That I've also discovered there while living there. I went around. We were going to look around for an apartment, maybe for temporary in Bangkok, and we found out that larger apartments are cheaper, even though the exchange rate is different and everything. But it is total deception. It deceives you, making you think that Bangkok is cheaper to live in than the Philippines, and it's not by my experience. It isn't by my
Everything else
experience.
costs a little more.
Yeah. They're very attractive things about Bangkok that you just can't. I mean, you really can't dispute. But people talk about the food choices, things like that. The cost of housing and the food choices are the two things that always seem to come up. But the truth of the matter is, it's more expensive to live in Bangkok. Look it up, by 20% over the Philippines.
That's pretty much
So
what Paul Old Dog said when they were there a couple months ago.
I remember I watched that video and I was kind of surprised that he said that. I thought he'd have a
'Cause
different view, but
he was expecting it to be less because he had lived there for a while.
right.
But
No,
that's been a minute ago. So,
but Leonard, well said. It's been a minute ago. Cost is going up all over the world, and
yep.
even in Southeast Asia, you can run, but you can't hide. That's the whole thing. So people are actually leaving and going to Cambodia, Laos, and Vietnam. And that really is, from what I understand from my friends that have been there, that's a completely different planet. Oh,
Yeah,
Nancy's
I've heard that also.
Yeah, Nancy is resurrected, and who else do we have? Who else do we have in the
Larice.
house? Yeah,
Yes, Larice.
my eyesight it's going to hell in a handbasket. All right, let's see. I think I should give, even though I actually like Sam's fetish of the gloves, so I think that I need to, if I haven't already, given him a jacket. I think it's okay to give Sam a jacket. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
I don't really know Sam, so
He comes in
Brienne?
a lot. Always ask about
Yeah, and
gloves.
Sam is always nice.
yeah.
Yeah, I kind of
Yeah.
like the glove fetish thing. Yeah,
Oh, like me.
you know, we don't discriminate here in the chat.
yeah.
All right, so where was I? So Nancy resurrection. Um, okay, let's see. Yeah,
Hey
moderator.
Tim. Hey Elvie.
LV Tim. So okay, let's talk about the
And
housing
Irene.
again. So yeah, so Nitban says what? Nitban made an important point and I missed it. Where was it? Somebody said Nitban.
No, he said Bangkok is not cheaper, but the accommodations are better.
Well, and I think so I went into Roaming Hogan's live chat, and I think he was a little miffed when I got in there and I commented saying, that it was that housing was cheaper or that it was getting more expensive in Bangkok as opposed to Cebu. But he said that when he got an apartment in Cebu, he ended up paying a whole bunch of money for a dump. Hey, that ain't my problem, dude.
He didn't
There's
have Eleanor.
Yeah, exactly. He didn't have Eleanor. You got to get a real estate agent, and plus, it has everything to do with the part of town that you want to be in. So if you want to be in the heart of it, of Cebu City, you're going to pay more money for that, obviously.
Yep.
And people have told me that what I'm paying for this place is also over the top. And so I'm like,
Well,
look around, folks. Look around. Things are getting expensive.
They're probably looking at what it was a few months ago.
A few months. Well, you'd have to go back a year and a half, or even in the middle of even in the middle of the COVID, things didn't change that much. They held their prices pretty good. If you go in and do research on the stats, it's going to show you that housing was in demand even during the COVID. They explained why. They're having a housing shortage here in the Philippines. Supply is barely able to keep up with demand.
You ever watch World Zoom? You ever watch World Zoom? He's a guy over in he's a guy over in Dumaguete. He used to be a hospital administrator. He's from the United States.
Oh,
Matter
I've
of
seen
fact,
him
yeah.
on somebody's channel.
he's from my
Yeah,
old
I know. I saw him on
stomping
somebody's
grounds.
channel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But
Mark's, I think.
he's been on Mark's. He's been on Mike's.
Yeah.
He's been on P's. He's been on a couple. But anyway, he did a video, and he said about 7 months ago, at least in Dumaguete, he's because that's where he's at. He said you can find a lot of apartments in the up to 250 price range, the housing and stuff like that. He says it's getting real hard to find now in the city. He says now if you go outside the city a ways, you can still find them. He said you can probably still find them in Dumaguete, but you're going to have to do a lot more legwork. He said about 7 months ago they were just everywhere. But
Yeah, and that's why.
fell back in. See,
Yeah, I believe he's telling the truth, especially where Dumaguete is concerned, because that's one of the
expat hot spot. Yeah,
hot markets, right? And
you said
no,
Iloilo's getting that way
I
too.
agree. Yeah, I agree. Everybody's talking about it. Cali King 916, go Kings!
Yay!
He's in the house. All right, so what was I going to talk about? Okay. So housing. So yeah, in Bangkok. So anyway, somebody gets in there and they didn't say, yeah, Dan, you're right about comparing Manila or comparing the Philippines to Thailand. But luxury is more expensive in the Philippines than it is in Thailand. And so that actually framed it a little bit better for me, because I started thinking about it,
luxury?
if
Luxury
you go,
is more expensive.
if you wanted to be in a high rise,
Oh, okay.
let's say it's Soy 11 in Bangkok, it would compare to something like being in BGC or being in Newtown in a high rise building. It would cost you way more money. So Roaming Hogan, I think, said, look at this luxurious apartment on the 30th floor, whatever it was he was saying, in the heart of Bangkok, and I'm paying $340 per month, something like that. Well, you ain't getting that. You're not going to get that in BGC. There's no way. That's going to run you, $1,000 a month. That's going to run you $800,000 or $900,000 a month.
At least.
So, Minnie and I, we were at the JY Mall. For those of you that live somewhere, here in near here, La Hougue or anywhere in Cebu, you'll know JY Mall. It's walking distance. Like we could spit and hit the mall, right? Oh my gosh. I'm going to have to go over there and clean the wall off sometime. My spittle is all over it. Well, anyway, if you go over there, so we were approached. Oh, we went upstairs. Irene, listen to this. Irene and Irish listens. We went over there, and there's a real estate agent on the second floor, 71-year-old man, a very, very impressive guy. And he was showing us, we're building a new building a couple blocks from here over in La Hougue, and we got Tox is here. I love Tox. She's so beautiful. And
hey, Tox, how are you?
I love Tox.
Yeah,
she's one of my favorite personalities on YouTube.
Yep, she's got a nice channel.
She really does. Anyway, it always puts a great big smile on my face every time Talk shows up. I just don't know why. She's just a delightful human being. All right, so anyway, let's see. Don't worry, LV. We're gonna get to it. We're gonna find you a man. Don't worry, LV. I'm having so much fun. Well, anyway. What was I talking about now? I was talking about the real estate guy. So he was telling me that they got a new building going up, and they're just starting to build. I don't like the whole paying for a building that you can't live in.
Pre-build,
I'm more of a guy that show it to me, let me touch it, feel it, see it, and then I'm going to buy it and move in. That's the kind of guy I am. I'm not waiting 2 or 3 years for you to for the Masons to come out and all that stuff. Well, anyway.
The advantage is it costs you less to buy pre. The disadvantage is, as you know, in the Philippines, it could get tied up in court.
Right.
Be shut down and you don't get your money.
Right. It don't get built.
So you're gambling. I just assume like you, not
And you
gamble
don't know
on.
what it's going to be when it gets done either.
And I'll tell you another thing about waiting. You know, they got that balloon payment towards the end.
Yeah,
If they do get done, there's going to be some people that didn't pay their bill. You can go
right.
in and get it cheaper. Go to the bank and say, hey, look, I want this 1 bedroom apartment. I hear it's been repossessed. I'd like to take over the, you know, and make a deal.
Ooh,
I don't know, dude. I
I'm a
don't know if
lousy
they'll do that.
matchmaker, LV.
I don't know if
So,
they'll do that in the Philippines.
That's
well,
what I'm
listen,
saying, Larry. It's a
the
no
bank will
go.
own it, Leonard. The bank
It's
will
dead
own it.
on arrival. And then the guy says, "Well, I have a 20 square meter apartment that I could rent you until it's built, until right next door for 10,000 per month." And I said, "I'm interested. Tell me about it." And he says, "Well, it's a 4-story building." Wait a minute, 4-story. I said, "Where's the elevator?" Well, is it on the 4th floor? Yeah. Well, see you later, bud. I'm
I
retired. I
do
don't do
stairs.
stairs. We don't do stairs. So he
I'm
was
still
telling
working and
me,
I'm not doing the stairs.
Yep.
he was a hell of a nice guy. He went on to explain that it's the city code, city building code here. And I always wondered about this. So I really appreciated him spending a few moments with us, saying that if it's 4 floors or lower, no elevator required. 4 floors and higher has to have, it's mandatory, they have to build it with an elevator. Now, Leonard, that's news that we could all use.
Yes.
In other words,
Yeah,
I
because
want
you
a
could
5-story
dispense.
building or higher.
I could just forget about that place.
Yeah, just forget about that place. Forget it. Hey, by the way, I'm looking around for a Samsung S10 to use it only for filming, because my phone's never been that great. And so it's crapping out and it's no longer being supported. LG6, life's good. Aww. Yeah, I'm about ready to toss it in the
never
trash.
been a never been a fan of LG myself, but
Yeah, it's a crappy. It's a paperweight. It doesn't even make a great paperweight.
I
But
tell you,
anyway, we're going to get rid of that, and I'm going to go look for a used Samsung S10 to use only for video recording, and 256K if anybody's got one. Now I went to the marketplace, the Facebook marketplace, and there are heck of people advertising for their used S10. So I might get lucky.
yeah.
It all depends on how much money
both
you
of my
want.
Samsungs are S21s.
Well, is it
Well,
really necessary to brag,
mine
Larry?
is a
Yes.
Note 8.
You're in the Philippines. I got to brag about something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
S21. Well, 2 of them, la ti da. Okay.
Yep.
One's the Ultra and one's not.
No, not an S23. Come on, Ben. I'm talking
That's the
about
newest one,
if you.
S23.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you go in and you Google, right? You Google cheap phone that's great for videoing for YouTube, then the Samsung S10 comes up. All right, and so I'm convinced, because I like to Google things. I could go to that other AI chat thing, and I could put the question in to see what they say. They'll usually give you 3 answers. And so the S10 was in the middle, I believe. And so the S10, it's an Android. I would never buy an iPhone. So
Me neither.
So we got a new
Apple can kiss my ass.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Now it's all this proprietary software crap. You get the big fickle finger of fate award, Apple.
Yep.
They cost too much for what you're getting.
Right. You can take that finger and you know what to do with
Yeah.
it.
And there's really nothing. They used to have a little advantage because they were out sooner with new apps and features and things, but not anymore. The Android can do everything that an Apple can.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, Nitban, to wrap that whole housing thing up, yeah, I mean, what are you going to do? I mean, especially a place like this where nobody lives here. Well, actually, it isn't true. We actually we've run into a group of folks. I don't know if they're construction workers living in the apartment, in one of the apartments, or what they are, but They were using the kitchen the other day, and they were cooking up a storm out there. I smelled chicken adobo and all kinds of stuff. And they smiled as we walked by. They're delightful people. There's no riffraff up here in this building, you know. I just want to. There's no.
Wait. Are you sure?
Well, I haven't seen them.
But you're there.
I'm not gonna say it.
I'm there, but you know.
He hasn't looked in the mirror lately.
Well, I wanted to address. I got so Nip Band and I went back and forth, you know. Whatever, Nip Band. Hey, I just would like to say this: enjoy Bangkok, you know, Nip Band. That's all I gotta say.
No.
Apparently, one of your favorite cities in the entire world. You're trying to convince the world to go move there. All right, whatever. So now let's talk about. Let's talk about what else? Oh, I almost check this out. For this thumbnail, for this live stream, I almost posted the picture that Man Minnie and I took with Knit Band so that you could see who Knit Band is. But I opted against it. I even put a smiley face over the top of his face so you can see Knit Band's body, you know, and his body language, but you couldn't see his face. And then at the last moment, I go, no, I better check with Knit Band first before I do something like that. I did not ask permission to use Knit Band's photograph in a thumbnail. So anyway,
I disagree with Knit Band. Looks like he says Bangkok is greater than Cebu. I'd rather be in Cebu.
I think so.
Well, you know,
I actually have.
I love both places.
I have a couple of friends in Thailand.
Bobby's there from Time to Get Going too.
Yeah.
I would love to visit. All right, Thailand. I would love to visit the place.
Yeah, I love it there.
But if I'm going to
That'll
go
have to
somewhere
be later for
and
me.
live, I would think it would be for me the Philippines.
Hey, Minnie and I, we love it there. I'm going to tell you the truth.
Well,
She actually was going right along with me with the idea we should be living here. And then I started realizing, you know, the whole thing is we could sure have a whole lot of fun living in, you know, the Cebu area. Because it's a launching off place to everything.
Right.
Well,
You know,
well,
and it's cheaper to live there. It's cheaper to live there
Thank you.
in general.
That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
The less money I have to spend on my living expenses, the more money I'll have to spend on things for fun.
Right.
Now,
I mean,
may not be able to do a lot
You
of
can go
stuff.
anywhere from here. There are direct flights to everywhere around the world, and also the fast ferries are here and the slow ferries. So if you wanted to go north, you wanted to go south, you wanted to go east, west, you wanted to go Dumaguete, Bohol, Isabela to the north, Baguio City, you're Manila. You're right here. You know, you're right where all you have to do is hail a cab and say, or walk, and you'll make your way over to Pier 1 or the airport and fly away just like a bird.
Yep.
All right, so let's see. So I addressed that housing thing. Okay, all right. So now, what's the other thing I wanted to talk about? Somebody sent me a PM that commented, oh, wealth. All right, so here's the thing about wealth. It's all relative. It's relative. For example, let's say I'm not saying that I'm living on six figures, but let's suppose that I was cranking six figures per year. Living in the Philippines you would have a luxurious lifestyle.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
You still save a lot of money.
yeah, but you still would if you were on, let's say, 40,000 a year. 36,000 a year, 30,000 a year. In other words, you still would be able to enjoy your life. Well, you would be able to live Dan's lifestyle anyway, because it's difficult to spend. Listen, it's all relative, and I'm not bragging. Yeah, I sort of am. But it's difficult to spend the kind of money that I'm making every month. It's difficult. It's difficult. You know, that's all I got to say about that.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'd love to give it a try. I'd love to give it a
Yes,
try.
I would too.
Well,
I
you would
too.
try, but I can tell you, I would love to give it a try. I can't do it. In other words, see, I get to a certain point. Mamini knows this. She went shaman about all kinds of crap yesterday. Good on you, Mamini. Here's the thing. You know, even if I
Thanks, God.
tried, you reach the point where it cannot be done because
Well,
you
yeah, you
start
don't have
looking
anything else to
around.
do.
Yeah,
You have
you
anything
start
else to
looking
do.
around. You have everything. You have everything you need. So the point here to come into Cebu to add on it a little bit too is that it's time to visit the islands now. It's time because that's what I would be using that money for. In other words, getting as many experience and enjoyment of life out of it. Now, I've talked about, and believe me, please believe me, audience, Filipinas, please believe me. The economy is going to move in your favor very, very soon, in your lifetime for sure. And it's happening because of a whole variety of different reasons, right? One of them, it's not even the primary reason. I don't even know why I'm talking about it first. It's because laws are being put into place that are going to be favorable to foreign investment. That's number one. Number two is the U.S. military is here, and they already have committed. The money is already here. 100 million US dollars goes a long way in the Philippines. That would be hard to spend for infrastructure improvement. That's the second point. When you see Hershey's chocolate bars start to show up in the 7-Elevens and the Metro and all over in the SNR and every place, it is not necessarily because the average Filipino can afford to buy them today, but it is a clear message that you will be able to afford to buy one tomorrow. And so they gear up for all this stuff in advance. They gear up. And I've been seeing more and more freighters going across the deep water channel between Cebu and Leyte. And that, if you observe and you pay attention, you keep your head on a swivel, it tells a story. It tells a story of an economy that is improving, that's on the move, that's going north, it's heading north. And that means there's going to be opportunity for you, not only in jobs, but also in housing. But now, what did I want to say? Oh yeah, the average. So what is the average size of a Filipino home? That was one question I wanted to answer before we move on. Does anybody in here know what the average size is of a house in the Philippines? I'll wait while one of you Google it. I could wait. If you want to Google it, and then share it. You're going to be surprised, I think. You're going to be surprised.
They are small.
They're small. And the reason why is because they're not gluttonous pigs like we are in the West. They're not.
There's also
They
another
don't have.
reason, Dan.
They don't have to have the best and the greatest. And this is why the rest of the world is sick of us, because we squander cash like there's no tomorrow.
Yeah,
There's
also another reason.
Yeah.
There's another reason.
That band says 500 square feet.
Oh, I think
I
they're
said a
smaller
little
than
bit bigger,
that.
but
I think they're smaller than that.
That
what
might
I'm
be
saying
about
is,
right.
You don't
the
win
reason-
today, Nitbam. You should know how big the houses are because you've been here.
But anyway, what I'm saying is, though, you also got to look at, and I agree with you, we are gluttonous and we overspend on our stuff.
Right.
But what I'm saying is, some of them can't afford even that 500 square. You got to remember, this is the average size. So
Yeah,
there's
you don't
so
need
many
it.
underneath it. There's so many
There's
that
a
are
lot of them
underneath it, so
smaller.
many that are over it. That's what I'm saying. I mean, it's average. So you probably have some that are only 200 or 300 square feet.
So that 20
Most
square
of them-
meters
Most of
or
them
that
are meters.
100 square foot apartment that the real estate agent was talking to us about, guess how much money they want for that bad boy?
Same thing you're paying where you're at.
They want 4.5 million pesos. Is that ridiculous
shit.
or what?
Yeah, it is
That's
ridiculous.
that's
You can buy
ridiculous.
You could buy a nice condo in Mocktown for that.
That's what I'm
Even
saying.
now.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I mean, so everybody's jumping on the real estate bandwagon, wanting to get rich overnight. You know? 40 square meters, Tim says, and I believe Tim is pretty close. I think Tim's pretty close. It's somewhere between 40 and 100 square meters, right? No. 40 square meters would be large. Yeah. It's something like between 10 and somewhere between 10 and 50 square meters is what I'm thinking. So Tim is he's in the range of the average size house.
Now, you did say to Google it. I just Googled.
What'd they say?
And, a 2020 survey of Filipino households revealed that the majority of households reside in a residential unit that had a floor area of around 10 to 29 square meters.
Whoa.
On the other hand, about 30.2% of the households occupy a housing unit with a floor area of around 30 to 49 square meters.
Whoa. That's amazing. But if you were to Google the rest of the world, how the rest of the world lives, and you omit United States, Australia, and Great Britain, guess what you're going to find out? You're probably going to find out the majority of the people that live on this planet live in domiciles.
Average size home in Canada.
1,200 square feet in Canada, something like that.
Oh no.
How much? 1,700?
1,948 square feet.
That's the U.S.
No, that's Canada.
Well,
all right, now China, 646 square feet. Denmark, 1,475. Finland,
right
880 square feet.
Right.
Now, the average house in the United States is 2,273 square feet.
Hey, Nitban, let me ask you a question. Do your parents live that way? I doubt that your parents even live in a house that is as big as the one that you own. Are you considered to be the rich kid in the family? I'm just curious about that. Yeah. Because the majority, like I said, the majority of the world, they don't live in those grand palaces. And so we end up going over. So if you were to go over to, let's say, Asia, if you're to come anywhere in Asia, you start talking, wow, you live in a tiny house. They might get a little bit, they might go fisticuffs on your head, because it's an insult. Because there's no need for them to live in that kind of environment, because they live outside. And so when we came, of course, I live here, so I know that I know what efficiency apartments are going for in the closer you get to IT Park and Ayala. And so when this one come up that Eleanor found us at 240, it was a little bit pricey, but I liked it. What are you going to do when you like a place and they wouldn't budge off of the rental price? You have to take it. Yeah. What are you going to do? What were my choices? I had no choice. I had to take it.
You're running out of time, too.
Find something more expensive.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that the closer you get to IT Park, the more money it's going to cost. Yeah. I mean, it's going to cost crazy money.
Yep.
Crystal says 20 square meters, Sir Dan, and she's probably right. Probably it's 20 square meters, on average.
Tim says his is 80 square meters.
The house I've seen have a common living room and kitchen, all that stuff. We don't have that. We have outdoor CR and outdoor kitchen. That's the way it should be. Why should it be indoors? Who came up with this crazy freaking idea?
People who lived in the north in the snow.
Yeah, well, who came up with the idea?
In the north where it snows a lot.
Yep.
Got tired of going out to the outhouse.
Well, there's another point, Larry. Who came up with the idea of putting the pooper right next to the kitchen? Don't they know that not even wild animals crap where they eat?
No house I lived in.
Tell me the truth, Larry. Tell me the truth the way you see it.
I lived in houses without houses. and the places I lived that had outhouses were nowhere. They were a good 30, 40, a good, let's say 20 feet from the
Oh
side of
yeah.
the house. And
The ones I
my
lived in and my grandparents had, it
Abby's
was 100.
here. Abby is here.
Hey Abby, how are
hey,
you?
Hi,
Abby, how you
Abby.
doing?
Thank you for coming. Sorry for interrupting.
Nicole, how are
Nicole
you
is
doing?
here. Nicole. All my friends are here. I really appreciate you guys coming to the live stream. What is it that Dan has to say that is so interesting? All right. Yeah. So exactly my point. So that's why we all go to Larry's stream too.
Yeah, you don't
Hey,
want to hear anything important in my place. Come on.
Yeah.
no, definitely not. That would be just a waste of good
Hey,
bandwidth.
this
So
just
now
all fun.
I crack myself up. Oh my gosh, I'm here making my own joke along. Charmaine. Don't squeeze the Charmaine. No, what is that? Don't squeeze the Charmaine. All right.
Charmin.
We could talk about the housing thing all day, all night long, but since they're not beholden to a mortgage, the way the economy works in the Philippines is way different. However, there is trouble brewing that I see, and it's the same kind of trouble that is faced in the United States. So in this aspect of the economy of the Philippines, I'm very unsure about. And so as you go to, it's pretty amazing because as we walk through, I'm going to post a video later on tomorrow. You guys make sure you run it up. But now, what it's going to show us, I don't want to give the whole thing away, but it's going to show us walking through IT Park. And things are booming right now in IT Park because that's where the call centers are. That's where the procurement centers are. Amazon is now located there. I mean, it is a sight for sore eyes. It's like you're stepping. Yep, it's its own city. It's its own way of life, and people are different there. Well, anyway,
It's going 24/7
yeah.
because all the like you said, the call centers are open 24/7, and there's probably
Mm-hmm.
another business or two that's in there. And then, and this is what I got from some of the YouTubers I follow.
Right.
The bandwidth is much better. The internet's so much better in that area.
Well, they have fiber optic cable everywhere. They need it for the call centers.
Yep.
So I said, and so people that live in that area, that live in IT Park, get that same stuff. So you're paying for
Nip
that.
Ban, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. What do you mean your house is twice the size of your parents? And you're the only one living there. You disgust me, Nip Ban. You disgust me. Especially since you spew all that liberal crap all over the airwaves. No, I'm just kidding.
He's living the American nightmare. I'm in an American nightmare.
Nobody is further left than Dan. No one. All right.
I know I'm not further left than you. I'm right.
All right, sure. You want to change subjects now, Nip Ban, now that I'm picking on you. Now you want to talk about relationships. But now, you guys know that the Filipina P and Rebeauty and some of the other top women vloggers are talking all about, no, I wasn't going to bring up passport bros. That's a whole different can of worms. What I'm talking about is relationships. I'm talking about stuff like, are you single, ready to mingle? And then if you are, how do you convey to somebody that you're interested in that you are single and ready to mingle? For example, here's how I do it. No, I'm married. But Minnie has been by my side when we've been walking through Ayala Mall, and I just go walking up and start talking to him, saying that, hey, by the way, are you what is your name? Oh, like Josie. I showed you guys a picture of Josie in one of the live streams. She says, my name's Josie. Josie, are you single and ready to mingle? She goes, well, yes, sir. In other words, they're going to tell you yes or no. They're going to say, oh, no, I'm in a relationship, or yes, I'm available and I'm ready to meet somebody. And then you could it really is a conversation opener, because then the next thing you're going to ask them is, are you interested in dating a foreigner? And then they'll tell you, no, I'm more interested in Filipino men that are women than I am a foreigner. But but most I found, I know you guys want me to tape this and make it into a video. I may, because it's so easy to do. It's so easy to do, and some men are intimidated. I don't know why. But I'm married, and so I'm not intimidated. I'm intimidated by many if I take it too far. But
she'll beat your backside, buddy.
she will chomp off my leg, and then she'll beat me with it over the head. So, so how do you meet? How do you meet? Oh, hey, Peter Barberi is here. Hi, Peter.
Hey, Peter, how are you?
Let's see. What did he say? Just top and you're single and ready. And yeah, you just tell them. Yeah. And I saw, by the way, things are interesting in Ayala Mall, because everybody knows, Peter, I don't know if you know it, but I'm thinking everybody knows, that if you go up to Bo's Coffee Shop on the second floor of Ayala Center, not where we were. We went to Ayala Center the other day, but we were also at Ayala, what do they call it? Central Block. I'm not talking about that, which is around the corner from us in IT Park. I'm talking about Ayala Center Mall. Ayala owns this whole place. Let's just face it. All right. Ayala has their name on everything. All right. So I noticed heck of foreigners walking around. You go to the second floor terraces to Bo's Coffee Shop. Females, are you listening? You go up to the second floor terraces of Bo's Coffee Shop at Ayala. If you've noticed the videos from people like the Filipina P and Rebeauty and others, I mean, who hasn't done a video from the terraces of Ayala Mall? That's where everybody goes when they want to find Filipinos and foreigners to interview. And so if you go up there, right, you'll see what I call the parade of Filipinas going on up there. And so all you have to do is grab a cup of coffee. Man, Minnie went shopping. She says, listen, I don't want to get involved in any of your shenanigans. I just want to go shopping. I said, okay, so go shopping. There's an outfit I want to buy. I said, great. In fact, she's wearing it. We might have her show the outfit that she picked up. But anyway, you go up there, you grab a cup of coffee. Of course, I'm going to get an Americano because I'm American. And you sit there. So I go up there. By the way, there's a joke. I go up there to the barista at Bo's Coffee, and I say, I would like, and she goes, what can I help you with, sir? I would like, and then she goes, yes, sir, yes, sir. What is your guess? She goes, Americano? Yeah, you got it. You got it. You're very smart. They have smart people working the counters there. So anyway, you sit there and you go outside to the umbrella area on the terraces. Everybody knows this. And you just wait. And then the parade of the Filipinas start. And they just start walking by. And then
now, so are you telling me if I sit inside Bo's, I'll be safe?
No, they'll follow you inside. They'll sit at the table outside and be facing you and then smiling at you.
You don't want to be safe, do you, Larry?
Yeah. I want to watch. I go there to watch the show. Oh, that's why I go there.
I really want to watch the show. But
yeah, we're headed there in a few minutes, as a matter of fact.
If I'm only going to be there for a week or two,
Beth,
and then back to the States, I really want to be safe.
Yeah, you'll be safe.
If I've moved there,
you'll be cooler on the inside because the AC is running full blast.
Plus, I don't want to get sunburned.
Yeah, but the umbrellas are on the outside too, and you get a nice breeze that comes through there on occasion.
Well,
anyway,
talking about the heat.
So this show goes on for a while until Miss Ma'am Minnie shows back up, and then everybody kind of has the letdown on their face is kind of like
He's taken.
disappointment, and I can understand why. I mean, look at me. I woke up like this. 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 I woke up like this.
I looked in the mirror, and the mirror broke.
I don't know, but you guys, you're handsome devils. Devils, the emphasis on devils.
Something to
Are you
that.
saying I'm devilishly handsome?
I woke up like this. I woke up like this. That cracks me up.
Morning. Hi, Emmeline. How you doing?
Emily. Oh, it's in the house. All right, so getting on with it. So, all right, so 2 important points, right? There are changes in the way relationships work in the Philippines, compliments of Pornhub. And no, I don't know where that came from. I would not know if Pornhub is responsible for social change, but women tend not to get married until they are older in the Philippines. They tend not to get married until they're in their 20s, their late 20s to be exact, not to be exact, generally speaking. All right, so that's one issue. So what are you doing for fun in the meantime, ladies, might I ask? Are you not doing the 2-step with someone? I'm just kind of curious about that.
Well, there is a big amount of single mothers.
Well, there's a large amount of single moms, but I don't believe. I mean, my guess is, well, I better keep my mouth shut here. But when you compare it to the West, United States in particular, you know that there's a decline of birth. The birth rate amongst single moms is down.
No, that's
And
the birth
I
rate.
know,
That's the
and I
birth
know
rate.
from working in the welfare department that caseloads have they're in a dramatic decline right now. A dramatic decline. I mean, when I was doing actual case management, which didn't last for very long because I was more of a special projects kind of guy. But when I was doing it, when I was actually the guy writing the checks, I remember having a 300 family caseload. And now my friends are telling me it's down underneath 100 now. So that means we've had a 2/3 drop in welfare caseloads in the last 20 years. That is significant. That's a big number. That is a big number. And why? So you look at if you look at the demographics, you'll see this. You'll see this. Population decline.
Throughout the world right now, too.
Yeah.
No people. People aren't being born. People are being born. They aren't even having kids out of wedlock like they were in the early days. They're not even having children out of wedlock. And I would imagine that because the Philippines has a younger population, they're more childbearing age, that number in the Philippines is probably going to be a little bit higher for out of wedlock births, but not that much higher, because guess what's being introduced to the Philippines as we speak? Birth control. Dun, dun, dun. I apologize. Please don't ban me from the Philippines. Do not ban me from the Philippines.
Isn't that contrary to the Catholic Church teachings?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, but for the longest time, you would not be able to go into a 7-Eleven and see condoms on the counter. And now you actually see this happening in the 7-Eleven. No one says a word. It's like an everyday thing. Here comes the young lady. And she's going up to the counter and she's buying Durex Durex for later, and she looks like she's heading out to the club. So the mindset of the younger generation is different. Dan, are they good girls at Bose? You have a variety. Oh, you mean, is it pay for play? Is that what you mean? There's a little of that, but there's also a lot of business women coming in there looking for their man. We're talking about lawyers, doctors, nurses, professionals of all kinds. But then you also have the other variety
of
So-
professionals.
Yeah, the other professionals, exactly. That was funny, Larry. That was very quick and funny. Get your mind out of the gutter, my friend. Get your mind out of the gutter.
Oh, no, I was born there. It's going to stay. I'm sorry.
All right. So it's not uncommon to see foreigners walking all over the place, especially in Ayala Mall, nor is it uncommon to see us downtown in Bye Bye City Leyte or Dumaguete or any other place in the Philippines. We're piling in there. It's almost like there's a mass exodus from the West into Southeast Asia. By the way, I have something to share. I hope I don't get banned from YouTube. I hope YouTube doesn't cut me off in mid live stream, because I think we're at the 1 hour mark just about. But I want to share something with you.
Just a little past.
There are immigrants now showing up here. Immigrants now showing up here from Eastern Europe, if you know what I mean. Wink, wink.
Yep.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, so
we thought
that
would
means,
happen.
listen, you can be away from away from your country for a long time if you do the circuit.
Yep.
And it's easy to get to Thailand, Indonesia, Laos, Cambodia, Vietnam, and the Philippines from Eastern Europe. There you go. I shouldn't be. I don't think I'm going to get banned for saying that, am I?
I don't
You
think so.
You're not saying anything incorrect.
No. So
or unethical.
yeah, and so I mean, I need to keep my mouth closed on certain issues, because I have a tendency to just blurt things out while I'm on a jeepney riding down to the business center on a full bus, and so I need to keep my mouth shut, because I mean, when you start seeing 28 and 38 years old, 28 to 38 on the jeepney, male figures that are strong and able-bodied, and they're from Eastern Europe, you kind of have to ask yourself a question, right? What the hell are you doing here? Shouldn't you be somewhere else? Shouldn't you be?
They're avoiding conscription.
Yeah, I would think so. Wouldn't you think so? But if you ask him, which I have, got one man got very angry at me. He says, "I'm here on effing vacation." And he said it in perfectly good English. I'm here just like you are on vacation. I said, "Well, enjoy your stay, kind sir in Cebu." He's like 5 foot forever. He's like 6'1", 6'2". All right. So, and they're married, by the way. They're bringing their families with them. So I saw husband, wife, children, and they're having a good time spending their tourist money, their hard-earned tourist money in Cebu, which Cebu appreciates, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
However, Bali does not. For Bali is now changing their visa requirements for a certain population coming from Eastern Europe. Yeah. I'm just saying. There's a whole bunch of stuff we could be talking about going that direction, but I got to leave it alone for right now. But anyway, I better, and it's for my own good. So now, let's talk about single, ready to mingle. So now they're older, and plus you have a lot of beautiful older Filipinas who are halfway, 3/4 of the way raising their families, that have never been married, but they are living or they have lived together with someone, a Filipino, most likely. I do want to share something that happened prior to coming over here. I mean, all this stuff is interesting to me because, I fancy myself a social scientist to a certain degree. All this stuff is interesting to me. I can't help it. But so we went into, Mammy and I went into Prince Mall, and there's a young lady there who she works behind the meat counter, and she is always there. She works hard. She works 7 or 8 hours a day, 6, 7 days a week. Comes in on her days off if there's a no show. I mean, she's a dedicated employee of Prince Mall, the meat market. And I went up and I asked her, I gave her my usual, hey, are you single, ready to mingle? And she says, depends. And I smiled, depends? Yeah. Well, what does it depend on? Genetics. I started laughing. I go, that's beautiful. So you're looking for blonde, blue eyes? And she goes, yes. As a matter of fact, I am, sir. But she tells me that she's living with a Filipino, and they are planning on getting married. I said, well, so I had this conversation with her while I was buying my meat. You see how sexy this is?
Yeah.
I'm buying my meat, and then we're having a conversation about genetics and having children and things like that. Anyway, listen, there's a joke that I just thought about, right? Yeah. Anyway, I'll keep that to myself. Because all the butchers of the world would be mad at me if I shared that joke. Anyway, we'll set that aside. But so then I had this conversation with her. I asked her a few more questions. I said, well, you're living with the man that you say that you're going to marry. And she goes, yeah, but if Mr. Man came along and he fit the right genetic profile that I was interested in, then Mr. Man that I'm living with, well, I might send him down the road. I might be inclined to send him down the road in favor of someone who is more genetically who fit the bill. Right? Now I found this whole thing to be really, really interesting. What about you guys?
That
Well, it
is
sounds
very
like she's
interesting.
settling for the guy that she's living with.
Yeah.
Because if she was truly in love, I don't think she'd dump his. Sorry, I'm
No,
gonna
I
say
don't
sorry.
Well, but
She'd
I
dump him.
hear,
unless he is
would it
sorry.
shock you to know that I get this answer from just about every Filipina that I've ever talked to, where the conversation where I was able to get it to go that direction, they have told me they've given me the same exact answers. I am genetically predisposed to marrying a Westerner.
Well, I'm gonna say I don't see anything wrong with that. I'm just saying, no, she's living with a man, planning on getting married. I see something wrong with that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
LV is
I
available. Netband. LV is available. I just want to throw that out there. LV. I don't want to throw LV out there. I just want to throw that out there. LV's available. If I were single, I would find LV to be attractive to me. LV is a
no.
nice,
You'd be attracted to her, not her being attracted to you.
established woman. She would be the kind of woman that I would be pursuing. Yeah.
I
So
can see that, but like I
anyway,
said, with me, I don't want long distance relationship at this point in time
well, who
because,
was talking LDR? Nobody's talking LDR. Yeah,
well,
we were
I'm
talking
just saying,
about
no. Some of these women, many of these women that are single in there, would be I would find attractive. But with
right,
my situation, I'm not going to be into a long distance relationship.
right. But hey, but let me ask you guys a question, ladies. Feel free to chime in here. Is Pornhub responsible for this? I mean, you see these Western men on there doing their thing with Filipinas and different things. I mean, do you think that this has any impact on the desires or the wants, or even the introduction that this could even be available to Filipinas where before it was out of reach because we didn't have internet? And so now I've since learned. Why do I keep talking about this? It's because I understand that Asia, and in particular the Philippines, is the number one consumer of online pornography. Now, is that true or not? Ladies, are you partaking in the forbidden fruit? In your spare time, are you getting online and going to Pornhub and some of the other sites, and that you're taking a look around, getting some ideas in your head about what the future may look like to you? And then also, I'm curious, are you using online dating site apps and talking to foreigners on the dating apps? And have you used one? Have you used one in order to meet and date a foreigner? I mean, because there are a ton of us over here right now. There's so many of us over here.
Yeah, but you got to separate the good ones from the playboys.
Yeah, and many more are on their way. Many more are on their way.
What's the term they use for those guys, chickie boys or whatever?
Yeah, I mean, would you
talking about lady boys?
No. They have a different term. We call them. We call them players.
Elby says no comment. Elby's killing me. Elby, you're funny. You're funny. Be brave.
A guy that goes out with a lot of different girls has got like a
like a playboy
chickie boy. Yeah, like a playboy, but they use the term, I think, chickie boy.
We're all friends here. We're all friends here. It's only going to be broadcast to the entire world. We're all friends here. It's okay. Nobody's going to think any less of you. That if you dial in Pornhub now and again. You're only human. You're human like the rest of us. We're all human.
Yep.
We want to see what's going on. I go in there, I look around going like, hey, how do you do that one? Scratch my head. How do you get into that position there?
You break your back and
you back into it, huh? So anyway, all right. So now, I think that's the reason why Rebuty and the Filipina P and others, they have videos, and Roger and Esme. This is why they talk about all this stuff. I mean, it's because it's interesting, and it's interesting from the human and social perspective. It's interesting.
It's to get watch hours.
Yeah, well, maybe I'm doing that too. But truth be told, like for example, I always wondered about this. Now I've dated many Filipinas in my life. And I've noticed that. So when Filipina P asked Hilda in that last interview, if she holds the lumber while she slumbers,
yeah,
I was kind of like, well, that is a legitimate question, because I never consciously thought about it, but it brought something up from the subconscious mind to the conscious mind. And when I thought back about it, I noticed that Filipinas tend to do this. They tend to want to nuzzle up and put their nose right underneath your armpit, and then while they're doing that, cuddling you, they grab, exactly. They grab your anatomy, and they hang on for dear life, as though it's going somewhere.
I didn't miss it, LB. I saw it. Did you see LB says dating site? Yes, before Pornhub once in 30 years. Kidding.
Yeah.
That means she's done it twice.
Yeah,
but
3 times. It was every 10 years. Come on.
Anyway, I've said this before. The internet and access to the internet and these websites is changing the culture is the Filipino culture. I think that's an
I think
okay
you're
way to.
right.
When you
Yeah.
talk
You're right.
about changing culture, did you see the Filipino P's video today?
No, I have not
Well,
seen it yet.
she's going around asking the Filipinas and a couple guys if the girl, they are the girls, if they would be a part of their body they don't like, and would they be willing to have plastic surgery to
Oh, enhance
change
it.
it?
Oh, I mean, that's kind of interesting from the social perspective. It's interesting to me. But myself personally, I like all natural.
Yeah,
So do
Myself.
I
I.
don't like plastic parts.
Yeah. I don't want to. I don't want to die an early death or be suffocated in the middle of the night. I'd prefer not to. I
Oh, no,
prefer
no,
not to
no.
go that way.
I'm
Dying
sorry.
in my sleep is preferred, but not dying in my sleep that way. By
Right.
being smothered.
What I told P, I made a comment. What I told P was anything more than a mouthful. That's all a man needs. That's all a woman needs, a mouthful. And any
Yep.
man that's not satisfied with that needs to get himself checked.
Well,
There's no
you
reason for
know,
you to, because she was asking if your boyfriend paid for it or your boyfriend wanted. Why change? If you're in love with a girl, why change her?
yeah.
Exactly.
Ma Wilma too is in the house. Ma Wilma, thanks so much for your support, folks. Ma Wilma is so supportive. I truly appreciate you. Minnie's here. The other Minnie.
Yeah, we got Mini Snow and Mini
Yeah,
Mito.
they're here. Letty
Mito.
me,
Mojito.
it's you and me. You and me. Um, all right. Tox, thank you so much for staying with us. I'm surprised. You must be interested in this subject. Are you in the BG? See, I almost did it. I almost did a Freudian slip again. I caught myself at the last moment.
Angelica
Oh,
is
All
that's
right.
here.
good.
Angelica is here. Thanks for
Hey,
thumbs up.
Angelica.
Thanks for sharing, Angelica. Thank you, everybody, for sharing me out. I appreciate it. Sharing me. There's plenty of Dan to go around.
Oh, that's a first.
Marianne. That's one of them names that there's so many songs written about Marianne.
Yeah.
Let's see. What else? All right. So sometimes though, Filipinos are very, very shy, but it's okay, especially for Western men, because Western men, I mean, for crying out loud, I go into some of these YouTube channels and they're interviewing Western men or Steve or Calvin are answering. They're doing the answer videos, where the answer questions are being asked, and they ask silly questions like, "How do you approach a Filipina?" And remember, so sometimes Filipinas, you have to approach them because they're stupid. So one time, Larry, I think you're going to remember that this subject came up on Chris and Cebu.
Yeah.
And some yo-yo, I don't think it was Knit Band. some yo-yo asked Chris, how do I meet a Filipina? I was like, what? I said, how about you go up and you say hello? Nice to meet you. What's your name?
I understand someone that's never watched a video. I understand if someone's never been to the Philippines
Yeah.
because they're probably thinking with the Western mindset.
Yeah.
Especially with the way it is today. You go up and ask a woman, "Hey, how you doing? Can I have your number?" Man, you can be in a world here in the West.
Yeah.
So he's probably was thinking along that line. But if that was Knit Band, he should know better.
Yeah.
Knit Band says, sounds like me. Yeah, Knit Band. I gave the answer. You just go over to McDonald's, for example, it's always packed. No matter if you're in the mall or not, any McDonald's you go to, it's packed. So what you do is you just go in there, you scope out the woman that you'd like to meet, and then you go get a burger. When you get your tray, you go over there to where she's sitting, and you just say, "Oh, it's so crowded here. Do you mind if I share the table with you?" It's as simple as that.
Crystal's got the answer as well. It starts with one hello.
Yep.
That's it.
That's it. Hello.
From the Filipina's own mouth. That's how you do it.
Crystal
Can
is
you
a
do
wise
it?
woman.
Yes, I mean, even in the States, you did it this way. Of course, you'd be rejected. If you were Dan, you'd be rejected nine out of 10
They go.
times.
They throw the
Yeah,
broad at me,
exactly.
man.
Are you serious? Get the hell away from me. Are you serious? Get the hell away from me.
Are you
But
drunk?
recently, Rebuty did the breakdown of the whole thing of what Filipinos find attractive about foreign men. And so you go in there and just watch the video, men, and she will tell you the way that it is in the Philippines. She talks about what Filipinos find attractive about foreign men.
I think I saw that.
They're doing the videos. Filipinos are doing the videos. Why aren't you watching them? That's all I got to say. Why aren't you watching them? Peter of Barbaria, where did you go? How come you're not up here? Lending a hand. Lending a hand.
I haven't seen any replies from him. He might be working it in the background.
Yeah, he might be working. Yeah, that's right. He's got a business to run.
Yeah.
Anyway,
he's got a farm to run.
Hey,
that's right.
Girly Cena.
He says,
by the way, if you guys haven't been,
lurking, Dan. Peter just answered he's lurking.
Oh, he's lurking. Okay. Well, you can lurk in Dan's channel. We don't mind. Also, let's see what else I have to say. Oh, I went into What the F Mike's live stream. He's hilarious. He is absolutely
Which
hilarious.
Mike?
If you guys go in What the F Mike's channel, you got to go in there and
I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, he's so funny. He is so funny. I love him. And now I know where he gets the name What the F Mike. I guess that if I were, I guess I don't say what the F enough. And so one of the things I'll be doing in my videos and in my live streams is I'll be saying what the F. What the F talks? What the F talks?
Yeah.
Because he gets all hella kind of views, and he's saying what the F, not what the F. He's actually saying the yeah. And every time he said it, I'm laughing. Every time he said it, I am laughing. I thought it was hilarious. I just sit there going, So he says to, and plus he called me out on something.
What the fudge? I agree with you. The F means fudge.
Yeah, he says to me, Dan, what the hell? We've been friends for how long? And this is the first time that you visited my stream. And of course I answered, what the F, Mike? Really?
So what did he say?
Yes, Dan. Yes, Dan, that's a fact. This is the first time that you've shown up. So anyway, if you get a chance, you go in there and sign up. You won't be disappointed. I know we only have so many hours in a day, to explore all these great YouTube channels. But there's so many of them out there. There's so many of them out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm behind.
I looked at how many I was subscribed to the other day, and it's
Yeah.
There's a lot of them I'm subscribed to, and it's like I don't want to unsubscribe, but some of them I don't watch that often. I try to get in and at least watch a video or two, if I can, a live stream. Those that come to my live stream, I try to get to their live stream at least once a month or twice, once a week,
Right.
depending on what's going on. But oh man, between work and doing my own channel.
Yeah, Nip, I'm trying to help you out.
Nip is saying to catch up.
Nip is a very worldly type type of person anyway. So I'm kind of surprised. If you learn anything from me, then I'm surprised, Midman, really, quite frankly. Yeah.
I'm with Elvie. She says, same dilemma. I can't unsubscribe because of my conscience. Yeah, it's.
You know, that you're good people, though, LV. You're just good people.
Yep.
You know, genuine. But, you know, you do deliver the message rather straight, LV. I do want to share that with you.
That's a good thing, though.
You know, and I think it is. I think it is. The hell with them if they don't like the way you deliver the message, right, LV?
Right.
The hell with them. You can go straight to hell. You can go straight to HE double toothpicks. Right.
Yeah, double toothpicks.
You beat me to it, Larry. Larry, stop reading my mind.
All right, I got to answer Tim here. He's asking me how my mother's doing. You weren't here when I first came on. I told everybody she's doing a lot better. We're figuring, without knowing, I haven't heard anything else, but probably the medication because she takes blood medication and she had low blood pressure.
Yes, grind it out, LV. Grind it out, LV. Push.
And she ended up sleeping most of that day. The next day she was a lot better. And then on Thursday, my oldest sister was in Terre Haute. She left on Tuesday. She got there Wednesday night, but she went and saw our mother on Thursday, and she said Mom's doing 100% better. So thank everybody for your prayers for my mom. And I'm glad she's doing a lot better. And that's why I waited to put up my I'm going to do a live stream today, because I wanted to make sure I wasn't jumping out of here.
Yeah. Well, I'm so glad to hear that she's doing better.
Oh, my goodness.
Crystal,
All right.
I'm not unsubscribing you, Crystal.
Blood pressure meds are bad. They have a hard time getting the right.
Hey, by the way, you folks out there, guys and gals, if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, give me some love, please. Give me some love.
Oh, I gave you love a long time ago. Quit asking.
I truly appreciate it. You're a pioneer, Larry. You're a pioneer.
I started following Dan a
long time ago. It's got to be like 2 years ago already.
Close to it.
Yeah.
The house was still being built when I started following you.
You know, I like Talk so much. What do you think Talk's, her charm is? What's the charm? What's the charm that makes you want to go into Talk's channel all the time?
She's very pleasant.
She's just very pleasant, and she's genuine.
Yes.
Yeah, she says, Sir Dan, and
the kind of person you want to have as a friend.
Yeah, she always asks, "How are you? I hope you're doing well." And she's very personable. It's like it's like Tox is sitting in your living room right next to you, right?
Yeah.
Like I said, she's got a bubbly personality. She keeps you engaged.
Yeah. Yeah, she's got a
turn you off and you go away.
And so even though I can't get in there as often, I'm going to tell you something. If I had time, I would be in Talk's channel. I would just sit there and watch for hours as she greets people. Yeah. She says,
she does have a cute laugh, Pete.
Thank you so much.
Cute laugh, Peter.
Yeah, I know. Talks. I know that Talks must get many, many marriage proposals. That's the other thing I thought about.
I bet you she gets hit on every day, at least 5 times.
Every single day, and I'll bet you people shower her with money too, money and gifts.
Well, wait a minute. Now, I want to be Talk's boyfriend in the back so I can get some of that money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll bet you, because Tox is such a beautiful person.
Yep.
No, Elvie, I don't find your live stream to be boring whatsoever. I'm telling you.
When I've been in there,
I do not.
I've not been there as much as I'd like to be, Elvie, but I've enjoyed it when I get in there. Some people,
same here. I enjoy going to your live streams, Elvie, especially because I know that you aren't going to sugarcoat anything. You're just going to lay it out there. If you don't like who I am, you can just go straight to hell and kiss my ass. Maybe she says it in Visayan or Tagalog. I'm not sure, but.
Well, then she can tell me all that she wants because I'll never understand it.
No.
she
Listen,
she did it to me
I'm
in
gonna tell you
English.
something. The folks that come to these the folks that come to my chats, I love each and every one of them, and they do a fantastic job. What blows me away is how hard they work. It's scary how hard they work. If you look online, right? Some of the folks here in the chat, they will be on social media 24 hours a day. I don't even know how they find the time to sleep. I really don't know.
I know. I tell you now, I have turned on a channel because I see they went live,
Yeah.
and I turned the mic off, not the mic, my Bluetooth off, and I'll leave their channel play and I'll go to bed just because it's somebody I support. This is the only way I can really support them sometimes is I'll catch them
Yeah.
my bedtime.
Right.
And I
Yeah, I
usually try
do
to
that.
tell them I'll just be in the background. And if I get up and if they're still going, I leave it going. And because I'll get up, I'll wake up sometimes.
Nipan, you're not telling the truth, are you? That you never go to any Filipinas channel? Are you serious? You can't be serious.
I probably go to as many Filipinas as I do males.
Yeah, I think I do too, probably.
Awful close to it.
I
at one time, it was almost all males. I'm going to be honest with you. At one time, it was almost all men, and then I started spreading out more. But when I first started, even when I first started following Dan, I don't know if I even followed a single Filipino at that time. The Filipino P's one of the first ones. Now there was a couple that I put in, but they weren't. There was another one that was in Samu's live stream. Michelle. I followed her for a short period of time. There was a couple others that I got out of Chris's, but most.
Oh yeah. I felt bad because I never went to. There were some very popular, I guess, Filipinos that used to come to Chris's channel. What happened to? And then I don't know what happened to it. Like Shopao Lee, I love Shopao Lee.
I still.
But what happened to Shopao Lee?
She's not doing much. I mean, she puts up once in a while, but not a lot.
Yeah,
Now,
I miss her.
I'm trying to think of the other girl's name. When I say girl's actually a woman. She's closer to our age, but she was sick for a while.
Right.
Susan, I want to say.
I can't remember her name. I know who you're talking about. I just can't think of it. Yeah. So anyway, you know who I miss? I miss Mac Daddy. Leonard, do you have a Mac Daddy update?
He said he'd be here this weekend on Larry's channel. So I guess we'll find out.
Oh sure, Mom always did like you best. Yeah,
and you know it.
Yeah, it would be nice for Mac Daddy to show up every now and again to Dan's channel, huh?
But
we are interested in the same things like pizza and donuts. Huh.
And did you hear? I think it was Knitband that said it earlier that Bye-Bye's city's GDP went way up because of the donuts, because of all the donuts you like.
Oh,
I tell that you're in Samu now, so there'll be Samu's going up.
I don't know if you guys have been in Minnie's Facebook page, but she posted our experiments, a couple of our attempts at making pizza, homemade pizza, and it didn't turn out too badly. So I'm starting to think that a pizza business might be in our future.
I'm sorry, Dad. If I do get fortunate enough to move over there, it ain't ever going to happen for me because I retired. I've been working off and on since I was Well, you want to count paper routes, 10 years old. If you want to talk a regular job since 15. I had my first job at an A&W root beer stand. I was 15. And you know me, I'm 69, going on 70. So even if we go
Mark.
15, 65 years I've been working off and on. Sometimes 2 jobs or more. Now, when I retire, I want to retire. I don't want to go do something else.
Oh, but hey,
Hey, Mark,
but what would your life look like? Would it look like, what's it going to look like? You hanging around, just chilling, drinking beers and coffee? I mean, really, what's it going to look like? I mean, honestly, Larry, after a while,
I'm going to do YouTube. I'm not going to do any. I'm not going to work for a living.
well, YouTube is kind of like working, because
It might
you
be,
got to keep the.
but I'm not doing it for somebody else. I'm not working. Yeah, I am. By
You got
producing
to
content.
massage YouTube, or people will forget about you really quickly. You got to massage it. You got to be there. If you disappear, they'll forget about you quickly, really fast. I mean, that's why I admire people that are doing daily vlogs, because I understand why they do it. It's because if you're not there if you're missing in action for a day or two, people forget about you. Your view counts start to go down. You got to keep it alive, 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 alive. Am I right, Cox? Am I right about that? Wilma, what do you think?
I think you're right. I mean, I'm just short of 500 subscribers, and I've been doing this for a while. But I know when I put up more.
Can some of y'all go in there and boost Larry up over 500? Come on now.
No. We're not asking for a boost here because I don't want somebody.
Dan is asking for a boost. As a favor to Dan, go in there if you haven't already subscribed to Larry Lee's channel, not the cartoon character.
That's Lazy Larry. I'm Lazy Larry Lee.
You have to put in Lazy Larry Lee.
Well, you'll find me under Lazy Larry, but it just
I just noticed that my channel name is still showing Dan's Retirement Journey Philippines Bound.
Yeah,
I don't know how that happened.
You got to go in there and change that yourself.
I did. I changed my profile. It should show up. Okay, I got to go in there maybe and do something else. All right, I'll figure it out. All right, so, okay, ladies.
Did you go in there and change your channel name?
Yeah, I did. And so it should show up. So I don't know what happened.
You changed your channel name on YouTube?
Yep, I don't know what happened. Something happened. I went in and changed my profile.
Well, I've got you under Dan and Minnie's Journey.
Yeah, but
really?
He's talking about, it shows up here. If you look, it shows up here, Dan's Retirement Journey, Philippine Bound.
Maybe I gotta change it manually in there.
That's what I had to do.
Oh, okay. All right.
I went in there.
LV, we need to find.
All I had to do was add my last name to it.
Oh, shit.
We need to find LV a man. Who else is looking for a man in here? Not you, Nitban. I don't think you are, right?
Hey, fella.
But who else? Tox is taken care of. I know she has a boyfriend somewhere. She keeps it a secret. She says, "Oh, I'm so flattered, but I have a boyfriend." I bet you people shower her with gifts, though. Gifts, hoping that she will.
Hey, sis,
they could hook her. Sess is here. Sess is here. Sess is in the house. Yeah. Anyway. Talks. She just laughs. She doesn't say much. She just laughs. She laughs. Talks. I'm trying to get Talks to say something like, "Who's the man in your life, Talks? Who's the man?" Oh, she won't say. I think she said someone from Taiwan. Are you making that up? Talks? See, I do pay a little bit of attention to stuff that people say on their channels. Listen, I don't want to open up the whole Alex can of worms. I don't know what that whole Alex thing was all about. Oh my goodness gracious. I'm not here to embarrass anyone.
Do you see what Tim said about how observant you are, sir?
What did he say? I missed it.
Dan is very observant. Only got an hour and 40 minutes to see his name is wrong.
Oh, you can't be 100% of the time, Mr. Tim. You know that. But anyway, I am looking forward
You can't
to.
make everyone happy, but you can make everyone mad.
Yeah, so I am going to be. So we're going to be here in Cebu for a few more weeks, and then we're going to head. We're going to head back down to Bye Bye, and we're going to get everything ready to come back. And when we come back the next time, we'll be heading for Manila and other parts north. And so that's when I hope. Yeah, I hope we'll get a chance to see Larice and Mabel Torres, Neon Torres, and all the tourists.
I need one of those signs posting a warning that a lazy Kano is here.
Yeah. Let's see, Tim. I hope you're gearing up to buy me breakfast at the Denny's when it opens. But you said it's delayed until June. If I show up in May, where are we going to do American breakfast? Where are we going to do American breakfast, Tim? So we'll be heading north. I'm still curious about Tox, though. I'll have to admit, because when Tox does her live stream, you can just tell. Do you see that her background is so nice, right? It's in a nice, comfortable setting, and that you see the
nice living room. It really is a nice living room.
Yeah, it's a nice living room, and you see the woodwork going around the trim work in the ceiling, and it looks like there might be a dish ceiling in her house. So I'm very, very curious still about who Tox is and what are you willing to reveal, Tox, about yourself. Still very, very curious. For example, Cess is very transparent. Cess, for example, you see the house, you see she shared the wedding yard with us. She everything about Cess, the marriage, that her friends were at the wedding. She showed that on video. The mountain she climbs, the rocks that she climbs, which was very scary. I would never do it myself. Too dangerous.
Just to let you guys know, I just got an update. You might have heard the sound in the background. Mom back to normal. Now the rest of it is like I got a cousin goes home tomorrow. He's been sick. He's in his 80s. And then my nephew's girlfriend and her mom are back safe from Ukraine. But that's the updates I just got. So, but like I said, I wanted to let you know that my latest update, my mom is doing great.
That's great. That's good to hear.
So Tox did answer saying she's a simple girl, very friendly. Yes, we know that about you. We know that. That's why we love you, Tox. That's absolutely the reason why we love you. You're just a very nice person, very, very dedicated and loyal friend. So, what was that? Did you guys see that?
That was me trying to go off the air while I do something.
Oh my gosh, I thought I was having a stroke.
No, that was me.
I thought I was having a stroke and I was going to fall over any moment now.
I'm going to pull a Leonard. I'm going to turn my mic.
What a way to go. But hey, by the way, how are you healing up, Leonard?
Well, other than I'm not getting my physical therapy that I need on a timely manner.
Why is that?
Cutting it off. The insurance will only give me like 4 visits. Then they'll cut it off. It takes a month to get it started again.
Okay, so you can tell by looking at me, I would imagine that I experienced a stroke a few years ago because you could still see the weakness on this side of the face. Let's just say
I had not noticed that.
Oh, let's just say that it was they have not been able to conclude with certainty that it was a transient stroke, but they said it was definitely a neurological event. And so this part of my face fell, and so it hasn't recovered. So when I'm speaking, you'll notice I speak. Sometimes I could speak very carefully, getting words out, which is part of the whole healing process. You know, to get the nerves to go where they're supposed to go when they rebuild.
Yeah.
And of course, they put you through the whole gamut, you know, of MRIs and CT scans and echocardiograms and all that crap they do.
Yep.
Sonograms. I've had so many grams, you know, all Western Union, for crying out loud. Telegram. But anyway, they find, of course, they find absolutely nothing. And so part of me wishes that they found something.
Well,
something to fix.
Something.
You know?
Yeah, then there'd be something to fix. If there
Yeah.
is nothing, it was mild enough that it is probably going to heal itself.
Right.
But you know,
and so apparently, so I go. I only spent
eating the way you have chosen to eat now should help that.
I hope so. So I end up only being in the hospital for one night. That's it, one night.
Oh, wow.
And then they loaded me up. They loaded me up with all kinds of useless medication. I've since thrown all that crap away. Who needs this stuff, you know? Who needs this stuff? The first thing they want to do is put you on 20 milligrams of that and 20 milligrams of this.
Yep.
And when I go online and I look at this stuff is dangerous, you know? Some of this stuff is very dangerous.
Yeah.
Folks, I wouldn't tell you what to do or what not to do, but I threw all that crap away.
Yep. I've still got some I'm taking, but
most of this can be corrected, as you pointed out, Leonard, through changing of diet.
Yep.
Yeah. Why don't they talk about that?
Because Big Pharma don't make no money on that.
Because then they don't make money. Exactly right. They don't make money. So they load you up with all this crap.
They can't get a patent on it. They can't make a medicine.
This works. How you doing?
Nip in. What are you suggesting? Nip in. What are you suggesting?
But you're a talker.
Mertz, we're gonna have to meet since I'm in Cebu. What was the mall? What was the mall that we met at last time? I can't even remember. It does affect your memory a little bit. I can't remember what mall we met at, Mertz. Because I want to make sure we have a chance to meet again in the next couple weeks. Anyway, you can private message me with that. Crystals, I'll be going north to Pangasinan. That's everything. I'll be visiting Pangasinan to see how it's changed, and I know it has changed a lot.
Buddy. SMC side, she says.
Oh, the seaside, great. Okay, seaside. All right, so we'll be meeting again at Seaside. That'll be fun.
Is she in Manila?
She's in Cebu.
Cebu, I was going to say SMC side is in Cebu. It's
that's in Cebu. Beautiful mall.
I can't get them all straight yet.
Well, that's over by the south.
And by the way, if there are any people, other folks here in the chat that are in Cebu, let me know. Private message me. Maybe we could turn this into a meet and greet for Cebu. Maybe I'll get 2 or 3 people showing up. That would be nice.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, that would be cool.
I know when like I said, once again, if fortunate enough to come over, I'd like to meet a few of the people you guys plus a few others.
Yeah.
That you may not be able to meet everybody at once, but it'd be nice to meet some people.
Yep.
Yeah. I always enjoy it.
Put some face and personalities together.
Well.
Yeah, it really is fascinating
Yeah.
to put the actual YouTube channel owner, you know, and then and spend a few moments with them chatting.
Yeah.
You know, that's where I noticed. That's where I noticed
strict orders from Dan. I got to go to Bye Bye.
Oh yeah, that's right. Bye Bye is a must see. Mertz, the one thing about Mertz, I mentioned it last time. I think she blushed a little bit, but Tox is in La
La
Union.
Union.
Yeah.
What can you tell me about La Union, Talks? Well, no, it's been brought to my attention recently.
Yeah. Oh, you met a woman there, eh? Eh, Leonard, wink, wink. Leonard, you do long distance relationships, don't you? I mean, aren't you interested in LDRs?
That's about the only way I've been able to communicate with anybody.
Yeah, so there you go, folks. Handsome,
Well,
available man, ready for the
like I said,
taking.
once I know when I'm going, and I've been over there once, unless I decide just to move over there and not go over on a visit first time.
Right.
Which with me, hey, I'm going to be honest with you. With me, like I'm going to lie to Dan, like I do all the time.
Gotta
It's
lie to
possible
everybody
that
if you're gonna lie to Dan.
It's possible with me just to. I decide, I'm going to go over and visit, then change my mind. And say, no, I'm just going to go over and move there. When I decided to move out here to New York, I took less than a month to decide to do it. Actually, I decided within 2 weeks, I think. Just somebody offered me a place to stay, and I thought about it and said, okay, boom, let's go. And off I went. I've been out here for over 25 years now.
Yep.
I
Impulsive bugger, aren't you?
I can get a wild hair up my backside and be gone. I just don't know.
Yep.
My dad was that way.
Folks, we're hitting close to the 2-hour mark, and as I look in the chat, it's very, very tough for me to come up with a winner for Donut with Dan. Coffee and donut with Dan.
You're gonna have to give it to all the Filipinas.
That's what I mean. I mean, it's very, very difficult. I look at it, and every single one of you in the chat is very deserving of being the winner for this week's challenge. So whenever that happens, I'm going to dump it off on you, Leonard, to select. No.
I refuse that one. I refuse that one.
He refuses that assignment. So what do you guys? So I mean, it's so tough. There might have to be 2 or 3 winners. There might have to be two or three winners. I got to grab my. Hun, come over here and show them your new outfit.
What?
Come over here and show them your new outfit, man, Minnie. Here it is.
Hey,
Hey, how you doing?
There you go. There you go.
Looks good. Looks good.
Yeah.
Yeah, she knows how to.
Very nice.
She knows how to coordinate and match everything, doesn't she?
Yep, she knows how
Too
to
bad.
dress up.
Too bad she can't do something with you. I'm sorry, man. She needs to do something with you.
Thank you, guys.
Hey, man, Minnie, how you doing?
Doing good. How are you, Sir Larry?
I'm
Honey,
doing real well.
Um,
Doing real well.
Do we have one of my little index cards so I don't mess up here? I think there might be. I think there's going to be more than one winner today for coffee and donuts with Dan. I just want to make sure I write it down so I know. See? Notepad. Pen. Hello. Tox is hi. Nicole is here. Minnie is here. Zendi Papa's here. Crystal's here. Risa.
You're the one recognized.
Wilma too says hi.
All right. So let's pick 3 winners. Each one of us will pick one.
Oh wow.
You go first.
Okay, I go first. Tough.
I go last.
Okay, well, I think that my pick is LV.
Dang, I was going to pick LV.
I got you, Larry. What? Who's your pick, Larry?
Well, I got to pick somebody else now, so
yeah.
I just because I don't know this one, Minnie Omida,
Oh, that's a good one. I was looking at her. Minnie, make sure you send me your Gcash account number so I can
Hi,
send.
Minnie.
Yeah, private message me on that so that I know where to send you your winnings, so you can have coffee and donuts with Dan. All right, Leonard Lund, give it up.
I guess I'll have to go with crystals.
Crystal's
That
Adventure.
would have been a good choice.
Hi, Kristen.
All right,
Well,
so
I
You
have-
know what? I did think about saying Mark, but I thought, no, we better save the females.
you know, Mark.
Well,
Mark, what do
Crystal's
you?
got it. Mark's okay.
Yeah, you know, Mark.
I
That's
actually
yeah.
I was torn between 3 of them. So
And Mark will be the beneficiary one way or another, right?
Yeah.
So we got LV, Minnie, and Chris. I couldn't help myself. I had to pick 3 because they're each one of you is so deserving. But I know I only have so much money in my Gcash account ready to go. So anyway, let's wrap it up. 18 million or 19 million in the house as we close it out. Larry, I want to thank everybody who is here in the chat in the comment section. Leonard, definitely for your time, because time
Thank you very
is
much.
the most valuable gift that you can give someone. I certainly recognize that. And Lazy Larry Lee, take us out of this chat with your words of wisdom.
Once again, everyone, I want to thank you for the prayers for my mother. And I want to remind you, be nice to each other. Take care of yourselves. Stay safe and healthy. Plus, as always, try to have fun. Bye.
Amen, brother. See everybody later on the next one.
Guys.
Take
All right, I'm
care.
Bye bye.
Bye.